Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the University of Northern Colorado. Thank you for joining us for our first UNC Talk session for the academic year of 2016-17. Tonight's session will focus in on how to get a job on campus. My name is Erwin Raimundo, and I'm the Graduate Assistant for Enrollment Management and Student Access. I'm also a graduate student here in Higher Education Student Affairs and Leadership. I will be your moderator this evening. Joining us tonight are a panel of experts from Career Services and Financial Aid who will answer many of your questions. Let's go ahead and get started with some introductions. Berenice, would you like to introduce yourselves to our audience?
Hi, my name is Berenice Garcia. I'm a work study student down at Financial Aid Office. My role there is Senior Peer Counselor and Student Ambassador. I'm a junior and a criminal justice major.
Hi everyone, my name is Karen and I am a career counselor and I work over in Career Services.
Hi everyone, my name is Sammy Catapotis. I'm a graduate assistant over at Career Services. I'm also a graduate student at UNC studying school counseling.
Hey everyone, my name is Aaron Bonilla. I'm a senior here at UNC studying communication, and my title at Career Services is Marketing Coordinator and Career Resource Ambassador.
Well, thank you all for joining us tonight and providing a lot of information for our students and viewers out there. Aaron, I believe you were in charge of Snapchat yesterday and promoted this event quite well, so thank you very much for that. We're going to get started with a very simple question. I'm going to ask Karen and Berenice to go ahead and answer, and it's pretty simple. How can I get a job on campus?
So one of the easiest ways to get a job on campus is to go on to Bear's Career Connection. It's pretty much a job bank of all the jobs here at UNC and sometime off campus as well that you can look for, but also looking at departments' websites, like the library I know does that, and then other departments do that as well.
Yeah, so you can definitely come to Career Services if you're having trouble finding a job, and we would be happy to help you. What's really nice is that this Friday there's actually a student employment fair that is being put on so that students can get jobs. So it's going to be in the UC in the big ballroom on the second floor, and there are going to be employers there who are looking to hire folks. And we have actually heard of students walking away with jobs from the student employment fair. So that's this Friday from 9 to 1.
Awesome. I believe all of us will be in attendance there, so go ahead and come say hi to us. Say you saw us on the Google Hangout, and maybe Karen will give you some swag. I'm not sure. I can't promise anything. But seeing how we're already talking about the Student Employment Fair, this next question will go to Sammy. Sammy, what should a student wear to the Student Employment Fair?
Great question, Erwin. I would say a safe bet for you to wear to the Student Employment Fair is either business casual or business professional. So I'm thinking maybe some dress slacks, some khakis. You can wear a nice dress that you might have, a blazer, anything that you're really comfortable in and can really be your best version of yourself.
Thank you, Sammy. So I'm going to ask you a follow-up on that. So you told our audience what to wear, but what should they bring physically with them?
Something that you'd want to bring physically with you is your resume. It's really important for you to list all of your different experiences that you've had, whether that be paid experiences, volunteer work, involvement, internships, maybe even your coursework, whatever you've got that's related to the jobs that you're interested in applying for. We also have an awesome resource at Career Services called Resume Creator. So if you log on to that Bear's Career Connection that Berenice was talking about earlier, you can actually access Resume Creator and go through different templates that you might be interested in, find some options that work for you, fill in the blanks, and get your resume created through that. Also, if you have a specific employer in mind that you're interested in working for, it'd be a great idea for you to bring a cover letter. If you need support with working on your cover letter or your resume, Career Services is open every day from 8 to 5. We also have drop-in appointments from 12 to 3, so that's like a quick 15-20-minute appointment that you can come to and work with a career counselor on getting that taken care of.
Thank you, Sammy. That was a lot of great information for our students and viewers out there. I'm going to go ahead and ask Aaron this next question. So Sammy gave us some information about a cover letter, the resume, and things to prepare these students for this amazing student employment fair. What are some of the questions that students can expect to be asked of them when potentially interviewing on the spot this Friday?
Yeah, thanks, Erwin. So one of the most important, one of the questions that you will be asked is, tell me a little bit about yourself. So this question is important because you want to start off with a good first impression. You want to be able to be nice and short, but get to the point, and also be confident. So yeah, so remember, just it's going to be your first good impression, and you're going to start off with a good, strong handshake. And also another question that they might potentially ask you, what are your strengths and weaknesses? So with these, you have to be very specific, and you really have to be honest and very brainstorm some strengths and weaknesses beforehand. Another question, why do you want to work for us? And for this question, it's important to do a little bit of research about the company beforehand, just to be able to throw in some facts or things that you know about the company. And also behavioral questions. This is one of the most important things that employers are looking at. They want to know that after you've done some research about their company, and they ask you, well, tell me what would you do in this scenario. You got to be able to expand on your question. And then, when they ask you, tell me a time when you had a difficult time or when you had to manage different projects at the same time. You got to be able to first brainstorm, actually know what you have done before and not lie about it, because a lot of people just trip up, forget about what they're going to say, and then it just all goes down from there. So another question, actually, if you have any more questions about this and need more information, you can go on our website, unco.edu/careers, and on the left side you'll find a tab for students and alumni where they can view sample questions and behavioral questions as well, like just questions that employers will be asking. So feel free to check it out at any time. So.
Thanks, Aaron. That was a lot of great information. Our next question will be for Karen and Berenice. Why would a student want to work on campus?
I know from my experience, I like working on campus just because I'm close to all my classes, and since it takes me 5 minutes to go from my work to my classes, it's super easy. And also, not only that, you're considered a student first here. So I'm not going to ever get scheduled during my exams, or if I need a quiz or I need time off to do my homework, I can for most of the time.
So I think to add to that, there's two other things that I want to point out. One, employers have told us that they are really looking for experience while students are going to school. So just by having any part-time employment on your resume, you're already competitive and you're kind of taking your resume and your experience to the next step. A second really nice perk to having any type of part-time employment while you're going to school is that you can explore something. So, for example, you're a sports and exercise science major and you go and work at the rec center. Well, that's a really good way to find out, yes, I love this work, or I need to rethink this and maybe look for another option. So you can really think of UNC as a mini city where there's opportunities all over campus to do the things that you might do after graduation. So you can really test run some of the things you might do after you graduate, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, there are a lot of career opportunities for students on campus, which is very awesome about UNC for offering those to our students. So thank you, Karen and Berenice. Berenice, this next question is for you, and I think we both can relate, seeing how we both work in the Office of Financial Aid. But this question says, what is work study, and if I don't have it, how do I get it?
So work study is actually a type of federal aid that you get awarded through your award letter. With that being said, since it's federal aid, you must complete a FAFSA application before the priority deadline and answer the question, do you want work study? And you have to answer yes to it. If you don't have it awarded to you now, you can always come into our office and be put on a wait list. Email Adrina Pollack, which is just adrina.pollack, or email just our office, which is ofa@unco.edu.
Thank you, Berenice. And yes, that current wait list is quite extensive, so you want to go ahead and get in contact with the Office of Financial Aid if you are interested in work study. The sooner, the better. The next question, Berenice and Karen, you two are up. So what are some of the benefits of work study? It sounds like a regular job.
Just like I said earlier, they consider you as a student first, but also work study jobs are super flexible. Coming from my experience, I used to work full-time job before coming to UNC, and my first year at UNC, and they were not very flexible with my hours. I couldn't request time off. I like study for my courses, and being a work study student allows me to be a student first and get the communication with other people that I wouldn't in a different setting.
Yeah, and I guess the only thing that I would add to that is that you get to meet a lot of people on campus, a lot of people who are really interested in developing you as a person, and so I think that you will not always find that in jobs, and that by working on campus, maybe by having a work study position, that you'd really find professionals in the office who are interested in supporting you and meeting some of your goals. So that's exciting as well.
Thank you, too, for that answer. Work study is a great benefit. You experience a lot on this campus here at UNC, so definitely get out there, put your name out there, and grow as a student throughout your time here at UNC. This next question is going to be for Sammy. This question is kind of vague, but yet very specific and driven towards the Student Employment Fair. I don't have work study. Can I still go to the Student Employment Fair?
Oh yeah, you can definitely go to the Student Employment Fair even if you don't have work study. There will be a lot of different job opportunities, including hourly jobs, other off-campus opportunities, and even some different on-campus job opportunities.
Yes, there are a variety of types of employment here at UNC, from student hourly, work study, temp, full-time, seasonal. We have it all, so make sure you check out the Student Employment Fair this Friday, September 2nd, from 9 to 1 at the UC. Our next question, Berenice, we actually answered this quite a bit this summer working orientation together. Am I guaranteed a job on campus when I'm awarded work study?
You actually are not guaranteed a work study job. Having work study is a benefit, but you still have to go look for a job. A common misconception of financial aid is that we automatically assign you a job. If you think about that, it's a little unfair. Like, what if I don't want to work the job that I was assigned? So it's up to the student to go and find a job.
No, absolutely. That kind of ties into what Karen was saying earlier about UNC being a mini city. If you're awarded work study, you can go around campus and potentially find a job that fits your future career goals. So thank you, Berenice. Aaron, what other events does Career Services have upcoming this year?
Yeah, so October 12th, we have our Job and Internship Fair, and that'll be from 1 to 4 at the UC Ballroom, so come check that out. Also, we have our Teacher Employment Days, which will be October 25th from 9 to 4, and that would also be at the UC Ballrooms. And we also have another success that we co-host with Alumni Association, which is called Success Looks Like Me. And we're going to be having 3 this semester. First one's going to be September 22nd, and the theme will be careers in business. The second one will be November 3rd, and the theme will be international careers. And the final one, which is November 9th, the theme will be former student athletes. So look out for the flyers around campus, and make sure to come. Yep.
Thanks, Aaron. It sounds like October will be a busy month for all of us. Not only are pumpkin spice lattes released, it looks like Career Services has a lot of programming set up for students on campus. So we'll go ahead and move on. Karen, Aaron mentioned Success Looks Like Me. What is that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Success Looks Like Me is a really unique event where alumni are actually brought to campus that are in those fields. So for example, our first one is geared towards careers in business. So we'll have UNC alum come to campus who majored in business and are working in the field of business. And it's a really neat opportunity for you to talk with alumni of people who've been there, people who've been a UNC student before, and ask them questions about what their experience has been like in the work world, and then also any challenges they faced. The whole idea here is to meet people who look like you in the field, So Success Looks Like Me. And there's also an online version of this event, which we have, which is called UNC Connect, where students can actually go online and chat with any of the alum and just ask them questions related to careers and even have them review their resume. So it's a nice way to have a network already built in of these people who have been in the same shoes that you are standing in now.
Thanks, Karen. Success Looks Like Me is put on in a very well-fashioned manner here at UNC, and it's just to educate our future practitioners of the field to what's ahead of them. And I really appreciate that Career Services, along with the Alumni Foundation, put this on. So thank you for that. Erin, this question is for you. We've mentioned BCC, or Bears Career Connection, a few times already. Where can students find that?
Yeah, so Bears Career Connection, you can find that on our website, unco.edu/careers, and you will find a logo on the right side of the website, and it'll be a logo that looks just like this. And once you click on that, for incoming students and transfer students, you can click register and fill out your information. You should be good to go. Click job search, and then you can filter your search through work study, part-time, full-time jobs, even volunteer opportunities as well. So that's a good thing. That's a good resource for students. And yeah, it's our online job bank, so feel free to check it out. And we encourage students to apply a few weeks before school starts, just to secure your position or start getting interviews and stuff. So.
Yes, Bears Career Connection is a great resource for our students looking for employment, whether it's on campus or off campus, your first year or your last year. So be sure to check that out. BCC can also be accessed through your URSA account, and then also in our private link that we posted at the bottom of the screen. Karen, this question's for you. What other services does Career Services offer, and what is career exploration?
Yeah, those are questions that we hear a lot from students. So we've mentioned a couple of things, working with students on their resume, their cover letter, even interviewing skills. We do mock interviews, which are pretty fun, where you can, or nerve-wracking, nerve-wracking for me, you can come and actually practice your interview, and we can give you some tips and ideas for how to answer some questions. Salary negotiation, if you're getting to that point, job search strategies, or finding an internship. We also do a lot of career exploration, so or when you're asking what that means. So say you have not declared a major yet, we can help you find out which major you want to start exploring further. And then if you have a major declared and you're thinking to yourself, I have no idea what I'm going to do with that, come in and see us. We have these really awesome guides on our website called What Can I Do with This Major that outlines different areas that you can go into, so those can be pretty neat to check out. I think the thing that I want to point out most is that it can be a little scary to come into our office because we're talking about such big things. We're talking about your future, we're talking about plans and goals. And just know that you're not alone in feeling that way, that a lot of students feel this sense of tension when they're coming into our office, and that a lot of folks also tell us that after meeting with us, they're feeling more relieved. So, a lot of the folks you're seeing on this screen, we're all friendly people, and we're really excited to help you find out what you want to do. So please come and see us.
No, definitely everyone in the office is very friendly and easy to work with. The feedback that they provide is essential for you to land that job that you want. I had the opportunity to meet with the director earlier this summer on working on my resume, and she gave me a lot of great feedback, which helped me out with certain things, especially for class purposes. So definitely visit Career Services, especially before the Student Employment Fair. Speaking about some of the services that you offer, what about our off-campus students or students who tend to commute? Can they Skype or do a FaceTime appointment over, the internet? Is that a possibility, Karen?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have students who make phone appointments with us, so we can answer some quick questions over the phone. We have folks Skype in too. So we have students in a lot of different states and even different countries for some of our online learners. So please feel free to utilize our services even if you can't come in physically for an appointment. I'm going to kind of jump ahead and let you all know too that you can send in your resume. So if you don't have time to come to a drop-in, you can just email us at career.services@unco.edu, and you can actually send in your resume or cover letter, and the counselor will get back to you within a week with some comments and feedback. So we understand that students are busy, you all are working, and you have a lot of obligations, so know that if you need that flexibility, we can work around you as well.
Thanks, Karen. That's absolutely true. I've heard it time and time again that students are typically busy, even if they live on campus, either North or South Hall or Web King. They email their resume in and get the feedback in a timely fashion. So thank you for sharing that. Berenice, this question is going to be for you. Now that I've been awarded work study, how do I maintain it?
So the way you maintain it is the exact same way you maintain any federal aid. You would have to keep a 2.0 GPA every cumulative, and then a 67% passing rate.
Awesome. So a C average, is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you, Berenice. Aaron, this question will be for you. How many hours should I be working as a student, whether that's student hourly or work study? What do you typically recommend to the students who come into career services?
Yeah, that's a great question. So 60% or more of UNC students work 6 or more hours here in campus. But it's really up to you how many hours you work. I recommend for freshmen to just focus on your studies, on involving yourself, different clubs and organizations, and just having that campus, that college experience. And once you your junior year or senior, if you think of getting a job will help you with your paying or rent or something, go for it. But for my experience, my recent jobs working at the food industry, maximum amount of hours that I requested was just 20 and below. And the number one thing that jobs here on campus, they understand that you're a student first, so they understand that school comes first, so they're very flexible. And so I've talked to my employers, and they understand that school comes first, so that's a good thing. So yeah, I recommend just finding a job that's really works with your schedule and can allow you to be involved in campus as well. So.
Yeah, those are a lot of great points that the federal work study and even state work study programs offer to our students here on campus. Student hourly positions also afford our students some flexibility, but not to the same degree that work study students have. So thank you for that, Aaron. Sammy, I haven't heard from you for a while, so I'm going to throw this question at you. I already have a job. Can I still attend the Student Employment Fair?
Yes, you can definitely still attend the Student Employment Fair. Like we mentioned before, UNC is a great sense of community. By attending the Student Employment Fair, this could be an opportunity for you to meet not only other students, but different offices on campus. And who knows, maybe you have a job at this time, but in the future you may need a different one. So that can be a great place for you to build some of those connections.
Thanks, Sammy. Berenice, this question will be for you. I had work study last year, but this year I was not awarded any type of work study. Can I still get it?
Yeah, so you definitely can, like I mentioned earlier, you can be put on the wait list by simply just going into us and telling us who you want to, or emailing us ofa@unco.edu or adrina.pollack@unco.edu.
And the sooner the better for your request, correct?
That is correct.
All right, thank you, Bede. Karen, this question will be for you. How do you network, and how to do it not awkwardly is this question.
Yeah, I love this question because a lot of students do say, I feel awkward when I'm networking. And let's just break down the word networking really quick. We like to think of it as building connections. And so maybe taking the word networking away and replacing it with building connections can make folks feel like they can be more authentic. So really it's just talking with folks, finding out what they do. If you really want to feel like yourself, maybe think of questions that you might ask if you were just sitting maybe one-on-one with someone. So some questions that folks will ask, like, what does your day look like? What are some of the decisions that you have to make? What is your office culture like? Are you really scheduled, or is there flexibility? So I think asking questions that you're really curious about can maybe help it feel more authentic. And what's nice is that you can come practice with Career Services. So know that if you are feeling awkward, again, you're not alone, but you can also come practice and get some tips from Career Services.
So Karen and Berenice, while I have you two on the hook, I want to ask you this question, and it's actually quite interesting because one of you is a work-study student in financial aid, and the other one is an FTE in Career Services. So what is your experience with networking? Has it been beneficial, pros and cons, things like that?
So my experience with work study with networking is actually meeting professionals like Karen and Erwin and everyone else that I've met so far. But not only that, I know the director of my office. I know the directors, the associate directors in my office as well. And I get to communicate with other people in different offices, not only in a student level, but in a professional level as well. So I'll connect with the professionals, but I'll also connect with the students. Like the friends that I have now are because of OFA, and I love it. My experience with it has been amazing, and it's definitely something that I would recommend to people, just because not only are you building professionalism, you're building socialism as well.
Yeah, so I'll add a little bit to that. I'm going to break down an acronym. Full-time staff is FTE. I just learned that one, so I wanted to share it. So my experience with networking has been in a lot of different settings. I think once I broke it down to just finding connections and similarities with folks, it maybe took the pressure off of it. So when talking with people, finding some of their interests, finding what they do outside of work, like, oh, you rock climb too, cool. And so finding something that makes it feel less forced and less robotic can sometimes help. I know just attending events and building those connections makes me feel more comfortable, kind of just meeting new people and finding out some of the things that they have to offer you and things that you have to offer them.
Yeah, I think the unique thing about networking, and I think both of you kind of just really hit it on the head, is that a lot of us are networking when we don't even realize it. So when we're in class making friends, or going to office hours for professors, doing group work, or attending events like Success Looks Like Me, that's maybe indirectly networking, but you're still networking at that. So thank you both for answering that. Sammy, I'm going to actually combine the next two questions and have you answer them, if you would. How do I network on social media, and what is LinkedIn, and do I really need it?
Great questions. Social media is a huge networking platform now. There are tons of different areas of social media that you can connect with people, LinkedIn being the largest of those, Twitter, Google+, even Facebook, like Karen said, just making those connections, and maybe it's someone just in your class that you know you're in the same field and you're going to connect with them on Facebook as well. It's really important to remember, though, that the internet is forever. So whatever you put out there, that's representing not only yourself, but maybe UNC. Maybe you're part of an organization on campus. You're representing that organization as well anytime you post anything. So just be really mindful of that when you are out there on your social media platforms. Something that I think is really cool with LinkedIn is that you can find different organizations on there that relate to what you want to do in your future career, in your current career. So I always recommend finding those organizations, maybe starting some group discussions, or chiming in here and there on some of the group discussions that are already out there, connecting with like past employers, past coworkers. Again, classmates are a great connection to form. UNC itself has a LinkedIn group within there, so connecting with that, you may one day decide that you want to work for the MLB, and then you're scrolling through LinkedIn and you see that there's a UNC connection that you have through that UNC group organization that you're a part of. So it's a great opportunity for you to really get to know others outside of your immediate surroundings.
Thank you, Sammy, for educating our viewers on a lot of the benefits of networking on social media, but also some of the potential downfalls. The internet is forever, so some of the things that you do post, you do have to be aware of. And in terms of LinkedIn, it really builds your professional development, your portfolio, and your network. I never had one until the Associate Director of Career Services, Chris Cobb, challenged me in a way to create a LinkedIn and said it would definitely change my life in a great way, and I really do think it did. So thank you, Dr. Chris Cobb, and thank you, Sammy, for that answer. Berenice and Karen, could you answer this for me? I have a job on campus lined up, but they say I need to have work study. I don't have work study. What can I do?
So one of the options, again, I know we're being a little bit repetitive, is on the wait list for work study, but you can also ask your employer to be an hourly employer. Some departments can do that for you, so it wouldn't hurt to ask for that.
I don't know if I have anything to add. That sums it up, I think.
Yes, it definitely doesn't hurt to see if they can work with you until you get placed on the work study wait list and potentially awarded. Student hourly positions are available to departments, however, there are limited spots. So definitely communicate with your employer and communicate with the Office of Financial Aid. Thank you very much, Karen and Berenice. Berenice, I'm going to ask you again if you can answer this question. I've been awarded work study, but I don't have time to work. Can I cancel my work study and get additional funding instead?
Yes, so you can always cancel your work study. The good thing about an award letter is that you can always change it, if possible, to what you want it. So if you don't want work study or if you don't need it, you can always cancel it and request a loan. The loan would be dependent on your award letter, so you would want to come into us and ask us about that.
Definitely come into the Office of Financial Aid if you're considering canceling your work study, because we can help you understand what's in your budget and what we can offer you instead. So thank you, Berenice. Looks like we have time for one last question, and Berenice, since I have you again, I'm going to ask you this question. My award letter says I have $4,000 in work study aid, but it hasn't hit my account yet. How do I get my money?
So the reason why work study isn't paid out like all other aid, it's because it's not. You actually have to earn your money there. So it won't pay out like a scholarship, grant, or loan, pays automatically to your bill. You have to earn your money to get that work study fund.
And before we close out, I was wondering if we can bounce over to Aaron and Sammy, and they could share with everyone how to connect with Career Services.
Awesome segue, Karen. There's a lot of different ways that you can connect with Career Services. We have all of our social media sites posted on our website, which again is www.unco.edu/careers. Aaron, I'll let you talk about Facebook.
Yeah, so Facebook. So there's three hashtags basically. One's for Major Monday, where we post postings about like majors and how they can transfer into different careers. We also have Wednesdays where I post jobs, different job postings about work study or a part-time job. And Fridays is Find Your Future Friday, just how to get ahead of your career and tips on like what to do on your how to be more productive, stuff like that. So you can reach us like our UNC Facebook page, and also if you see around if you see the student staff wearing these kinds of shirts, you can just come up to us and just ask us questions as well. So that's another way to do it. So.
Yeah, definitely. Another option is Twitter. We're at CareersUNCO. We follow the same hashtags that they do on Facebook and add a couple motivational quotes here and there and retweet people. Anything exciting that we see career-related, we're going to share it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing all of that great social media posts that you guys have over at Career Services. That is a great resource for our students again, so thank you for sharing that. I want to remind our students to please join us at the Student Employment Fair this Friday from 9 to 1 p.m. at the UC. You'll be able to apply and interview for jobs on and off campus, and actually Berenice has a very important note from the Office of Financial Aid.
So this year, OFA is giving out a $500 scholarship to one student that attends the Student Employment Fair and completes the end of the fair survey.
Yes, so by showing up, trying to find a job, and completing that exit survey, you'll be entered in a drawing for a $500 scholarship. I double-checked with my resources, and yes, this is true. $500 will be yours if you are the winner for that drawing, but you have to attend this Student Employment Fair. 9 to 1 at the UC this Friday, September 2nd. Show up with your cover letter, your nicest slacks or business casual attire, and try to find a job. So in closing, I want to personally thank everyone on the panel tonight and everybody viewing from home. If you have any other questions about career services, they can be reached at 970-351-2127 or in person from the hours of 8 to 5 in the UC. I would request an interview or informational interview with Dr. Christopher Cobb because he's quite informative. Also, Renee Welch, who is the director of not financial aid, but career services. She's really helped clean up my resume and made me a lot more attractive on the job market. So again, thank you for joining us, and go Bears.